let's chat. Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So today we're gonna do things a little bit different. More than likely, the way that you stumbled onto my channel was me reviewing someone else's work and maybe being a little bit snarky. And while I don't regret anything that I've said, sometimes I wish that I could have said things a little different. So today the person on the hot seat is me. We're gonna go through some of my most popular videos and react. So let's get comfy. I'm gonna figure out the best setup here without destroying my camera. Huh? Okay, that works. So I'm gonna go through, I'm sorting by most popular, and of course, it's not even a video about fitness. So for those of you who don't know, I used to perform professionally, and I really stopped in like 2018. Long story short, I just got really tired of all of it. We'll leave it at that. Let's watch a little bit of Heather's.
Stuff they cannot. I like drinking hard, maxing dad's credit card. I like skipping gym, scaring her, screwing him. I like killer clothes, kicking nerds in the nose.
Okay, no regrets with this one. Choreography's fierce, we all look great. Only complaint is that the costume designer put the 5 foot tall girl, who is already like 8 inches shorter than the other girls, in flats, and the tall girls in heels. Ah, this one. This bar video gives me like heart palpitations sometimes because I know I sound like an asshole in this. And while I do agree, I think, with everything that I said, I wish that the way I said it was different, because a lot of times this is people's first impression of me and it just makes me sound like kind of an asshole. So let's watch it.
If you've been on my channel before, you know that I am a really big fan of functional fitness.
Can we talk about my voice? This was vocal nodules time. Oh, I sound completely different. Anyway.
So let's start with the basics. What is barre? Barre is a ballet-inspired technique that was actually developed in London by a German dancer in 1959.
Okay, I will say, like, this was probably the first video that I did where I was actually really proud of the editing. And I think I was still using iMovie, so good job, Justina. Anyway.
Who was injured with a back injury, wanted to keep on dancing, so created this workout that mimicked ballet dancing to keep them in shape.
After I praised myself with the editing, this is supposed to be somewhere else in the video, so good job.
We're gonna start with the most popular belief that barre will strengthen and tone your muscles without increasing bulk. This is a myth. I'm sure that we've all heard it at this point, but lifting heavy does not make women bulky. Here's the deal. I guarantee that you're not eating enough to get bulky. I also guarantee that you're probably not lifting heavy enough weights to get bulky. Lifting 10 pounds instead of 3 pounds is not going to make you bulky. It's actually gonna build muscle. And this is not my opinion, this is literally science.
And even though I am right, I wish that I could have linked an article or some kind of study or put that up on the screen. Like, a lot of this does sound very anecdotal, and I wish that it was a little bit more science driven.
And let's just deconstruct what strengthen and tone actually mean, because they're really big marketing words, really big buzzwords. So these two words, strengthen and tone, they literally mean build muscle. The most efficient way to build muscle is resistance training. And that weight cannot be 2 pounds where you're pulsing up and down an inch on either side. That's really not gonna do much besides make you really strong in that one tiny little range of motion. Now, if you're thinking,
well, I don't wanna build muscle, I just wanna tone up.
It's the same thing. So strengthen and tone are just buzzwords for build muscle, and you do that by resistance training.
Something I'm missing here though is that with toning, which I still stand by, it's a bullshit word and it's stupid and people shouldn't use it because I think that it is just a word to keep women as small as possible. But anyway, tone, the way that people think of it, like when you look at a body and you're like, that's a toned body. Well, that just has to do with seeing the muscle that's underneath fat. So actually a huge part of it isn't even necessarily building muscle in a hypertrophy sense. It's more about having a pretty low body fat percentage. Because everyone has muscle. It's just, can you see it? And that's what tone is. Seeing the muscle tone.
So another claim that I've seen that kind of goes hand in hand with the first one is that barre will create long, lean muscles. This is, okay. It's really just more like marketing buzzwords, because the idea here is that they're telling you you're gonna lengthen your muscles. If you have postural issues, like let's say that you are really hunched over and you kind of have these like shortened chest muscles and the symptoms of upper cross syndrome, so this like forward head rounded shoulders that a lot of us get from working at computers or over desks or whatever it is today. Yeah, with barre, if you're properly doing it, you're gonna improve your posture and you're probably gonna lengthen your pecs a little bit. But like the actual word of making your muscles longer, I just feel like it's misleading, because here's the deal. You can't change the origin and insertion point of your muscles. Like, that's just how you're built. You can't change that. You can't change your body structure. And I think that this gets misconstrued sometimes. You know, you can increase your flexibility and create the illusion of longer muscles.
Again, I didn't explain this well, and I've talked about this now in so many other videos, the difference between flexibility, between lengthening the muscles, between mobility work, between strength. Like, I've talked that so much more in depth, and I don't think that, honestly, 2.5 years ago, Justina really like fully understood what she was trying to communicate, which is why it didn't come off super clear. She's right, but the way she went about it wasn't the best. Yeah, it just, I didn't like, I'm gonna say that this young queen didn't fully understand it, which is why I couldn't really explain it. Essentially, you cannot change the origin and insertion point of your muscles. Now, your muscles do have a little give between the origin and insertion point. So when I say that if you work on your posture that you can lengthen your chest muscles, sure, 100%, but it's not like you're going from here to here. And so much of the time when we're just talking about stretching muscles and lengthening them, we're actually talking about the central nervous system, because if a muscle is tight or cramped, we're not actually sending a signal to the muscle that's like, you've got to lengthen. We're actually sending a signal to the central nervous system, telling it to chill the fuck out and breathe. So if I could go back, I would explain that part of lengthening a muscle, but then also explain that these movements of lifting like very light weights for high reps, they don't do anything to lengthen your muscles. But postural benefits are absolutely a benefit of barre.
This is such a tricky one, because it's like technically true for some people, but you're never gonna look like a ballerina if you're doing barre unless you're genetically built like a ballerina.
I stand by that. And when I say ballerina, I mean the traditional ballerina. Obviously, dancers and ballerinas come in all shapes and sizes, but unfortunately with society and tradition, there is a certain look that we think of with ballet dancers.
You're not going to look like a ballerina if you do barre classes, because ballerinas are genetically built that way. They are built with really long origin and insertion points. And it's the same thing with like football players and basketball players and swimmers and gymnasts. They are all built a certain way, which in childhood kind of lends them to being really good at something. And that's why they get into it.
I still stand by all of this. I wish though, because I don't think that I'm about to say it, I just wish that I really focused less on you're stupid for thinking this, which is kind of the vibe I'm giving off, and more this is how marketing is making you think that this will happen. And really, like, if I just go back to the why of this video, or what I wish it kind of would have been more of, it's just that you should understand why you're choosing a workout. If you enjoy barre, that's awesome. But if you think that it's going to do X, Y, and Z because marketing told you so, let's talk about it.
And then the last one that I just cannot with, is that barre will increase your cardiovascular endurance and metabolism to burn more fat. Also, welcome to the tiniest kitchen in New York City. Okay, so this is just not true. And this is, again, science. It's not my opinion. This is literally science. Essentially, resistance training is the best way to speed up your metabolism, because muscle will burn more calories. So building muscle is going to increase your metabolic rate. Now, here's the deal. With barre, you're never lifting heavy enough to actually really build enough substantial muscle. I mean, over time, maybe you will, but it's gonna take you so much longer to get there. So would you rather take a 1/10 of the time to get there, or keep pulsing up and down an inch?
Again, I just wish that I had linked some kind of article underneath. I wish that I had explained the science a little more than just being like, this is science, trust me. And I'm not wrong with like, you know, muscle is going to burn more calories at rest on the body than fat is, and that it is going to take you a longer time to actually build substantial muscle from doing a bar workout. But we also have to think of like the cardiovascular element. And in a cardiovascular workout, like let's say your bar class does get your heart rate up into those cardio zones, well, you are going to burn more calories in the moment than a strength training workout. So I think this kind of comes down to enjoyment factor when you're deciding on, I do have a fat loss goal, what is the best option of movement going to be for me? And really at the end of the day, the best option of movement is just like move more than you did before and you're gonna be good.
Now, I already know that someone's gonna comment on this and they're gonna be like,
You're lying. I saw the best results of my life when I started taking bar classes.
that's awesome, but
Did she think it was awesome? Jesus Christ. No wonder everyone calls me a bitch in the comments of this video.
all I'm saying is that it is not the most efficient way to see change in your body. And also, like, I just ask these people, what were you doing before? Because if you went from doing nothing to doing anything, you're gonna see huge changes. But eventually your body is going to plateau. Your body is going to get used to the stress that it's being put under, and you're going to plateau. This is just how the body works. It is very, very good to adapting to stressful situations. So if you're doing nothing but bar, you're probably not going to see a change after 4 to 6 weeks.
But you can say that about anything. If I did the exact same strength training routine over and over and over, I would plateau. So I think that's enough. I feel confident leaving it up. I feel like I have to watch this once a year to like remind myself that, hello, do you want to come hang out? Okay, great. Well, we have an assistant now. Oh, you want some lovin'? Mwah. I just wish that I wasn't so blamey to my audience. It feels very like you're stupid if you believe this. I'm gonna leave it up though, because some of that editing's pretty good. Next. Hi, mama. Ooh. Lilly Sabri, please don't hate me. Ugh, the beginning of this is so dramatic.
It's frustrating because she should know better.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. All right, so now we're like jumping into the meat of it. So as always, I am going to be critiquing on these functional checkpoints, which are just different aspects of functional training that you typically see and different factors that you want to manipulate to get the most out of your workout. Here's one thing that I don't love about all of these old review videos that I used to do, like where I had the ranking system. It's a little too like cookie cutter. Obviously, you want to take all of these different aspects into consideration, but if you really just think about like what functional training means, it literally just means training with purpose. Everyone's life is going to look different. Everyone's daily routine is going to be different. Sure, do most people need to focus more on their posture muscles, their hip mobility, making sure that they walk properly? Like, yeah, most people do need to be working on those things, but as long as you can justify something, it's functional. I'm remembering now that I actually made a video where I talked about this and my Caroline Girvin review. I actually don't really regret anything in this video. Again, sometimes I do a little bit of like, it's science, but it's a little less blamey and I explain a little bit more. The only thing I regret about this video is that I actually didn't realize that she did longer workouts besides like 10 minutes. But I'm telling you right now, when I searched Lilly Sabri workouts, only the short ones came up. I think I actually went to her page and I did what I'm doing right now, like search by most popular, and they were all like 10 minutes long. So I do wish I did more research, but in all fairness, it seems like that's most of what people click on with her. And I stand by it all. I think she's incredibly misleading. I don't care how bubbly and how nice you are. You are educated and you are like literally lying to people. So shame, shame. We have 2 more. This is probably another one that a lot of you found me by because Obese to Beast did a whole video where he reacted to this. So thank you for that. That was very nice of you. Recently, I made a quick little kind of pissy TikTok commenting on Blogilates, aka Cassie Ho.
Yeah, you know what's a good idea? Let's take one of the most functional movements of all time and make it not functional.
Okay, I don't want to put anything else about Cassie out there because people are already annoyed with me. We're not going to talk about Cassie in this video, but I don't have to watch the whole thing. I've watched this recently. I stand by everything that I say in this. I actually kind of regret the TikTok. I wish that instead of making it so angry, had actually explained more. But on the flip side, that algorithm probably never would have picked it up if I didn't just be an asshole. So anyway, last one. Oh God, another dance video. I know why I leave them up, because they're monetized and I like that coin. Okay, let me preface this with the fact that this was in 2017 when I was choreographing a production of a chorus line for high school students, high schoolers and middle schoolers. The combination is simplified. Also for my like true musical theater people, yes, I taught them the scoop method. I'm so sorry, I never got to do it with Miss Byork. Oh God, I'm gonna be horrified.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, she ain't bad though. Okay, it's just a lot of this. Ooh, let's watch the ballet. Oh, what did I do for the ballet? I think I only did like the girls combo. I don't think I did the guys combo. Probably because I don't know the guys combo. Okay. iMovie editing, everybody, circa 2017. So let's talk about the why of this video, if you've made it this far. Entertainment, a little self-deprecation, and then also just to show you that no one is perfect. I know that I come on here a lot and I kind of pick apart different things, and I try and be as respectful as possible, and I try to ground everything in proof as much as possible, but I'm not perfect. And I make mistakes and I say things wrong, and I do really try to own up to that, and I'm always trying to improve. So watching these old videos helps me to see where my mistakes were, how I can communicate things better, because the why of my whole channel and my business is to help people get stronger and smarter through their movement and nutritional choices. There's no reason why you can't understand why you're doing something, why you're doing a certain movement, why you're choosing a certain food group. And I'm not saying that you need to have this complex understanding. Ooh, the sun. But I think it's important to have a basic level understanding because it's your body. You should know why you're moving it and why you're feeding it a certain way. Well, it seems like the sun is telling me it's time to move out of this spot, so we're gonna end it here. Any questions, as always, leave them down below. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you in the next one.